Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Don here once more. So from time to time in my comment section I get asked a request to make a certain magic trick, which I try to do in most cases. Some cases it's quite impossible. So if you have asked for a trick to be made and I haven't done so, it's because I can't. That's the long and short of it. But I was asked to make this particular magic trick. But I think it's my slightly different design or different take on the same trick. A lot of the videos I've seen, the top opens and the front opens up. Mine's just a slightly different design. So I don't like to copy other people's tricks exactly. Okay, so I'll demonstrate the trick as usual, as best I can, and then a little later I'll show you everything that you need to know to make your or make this version of the same trick. Okay, so let's get on with it, and this is how it goes. So we've got a box with two doors on the front and two doors on the back, which I shall show you presently, and also this oversized die, a solid six-sided die that just for the moment I'll keep inside my top hat for safekeeping. So inside the box, if I open the back, you can see that the box is completely empty. There's nothing inside the box at all. And if I show you the front, and again there's nothing inside the box. I think you'll agree it's an empty box. Okay, so I'll close the doors up like so. Now I can take out my big die and we can put it in the box. So if I open the two doors there and put my die inside, and you can see that the die is inside the box. And there's the front. And you can see all around the die is in the box. Okay, now if I close all the doors, what we need to do is try to make the die disappear. So with a click of the fingers, and it doesn't work unless you do click your fingers, then I think you'll agree that the die has disappeared. No die. Okay, and if you're thinking it's this side, then we can open up and see no die in there. Okay, and then no die in that side either. This is for kids, okay? At this point they'll be screaming, it's in that, no, it's not in that side. So we'll keep doing that one more time, and you can see there is no dice. And then we can reveal both sides that is no dice or die in either side. Okay, that's the trick. And what is even more astounding is that the die has reappeared in the top hat. Okay, there, that's magic. Okay, so let's get on with the video then. We'll see how to do it, what to do, all the sizes, all the information you need to make your own version of this slightly different design of magic trick. Okay, in the meantime, please subscribe to the channel. I'm begging you, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's get on with the video then and see what we need to do. So the first thing we're going to need is a die. I'm using my usual 2.4 thick card. You could use thinner, although it does make for a good sturdy outcome if you use a thick card. So all the sizes are the same. I've made this 4 inches or 10 centimeters, so all dimensions 10, and when that is done you need another part of a die or a shell of a die, a 4-sided shell that will slip into like that. That will make it look like it's one big die. So then you've got 2 dice. I think that's the correct grammar. Okay, so they're in their rough stage at the moment. I'll sand them down, cover them with white printing paper, and then put the black dots on for the numbers 1 to 6. Okay, so I'll do that first, and then we'll get on to making the cabinet for them to fit into. So I finished my die, covered it with white A4 printing paper, and then put my dots on. And for that I cut or ripped a piece of cloth tape and put a small coin on there, and if you cut round with a very sharp knife and then peel it off, you've already got a sticky dot to put on. A bit time consuming, I will admit, but there we go, that's the end result. So then we've got our dice there, and then we've got the 4-sided dice that fits over the top like that. So we can show that it's a complete dice like that, die. Okay, and that must come on and off quite easily like that. And then we need a container to put it in. I've got an old beaten up top hat that I made many years ago, and that needs to go in there like that, because we'll show that, we'll taking that out of the hat and showing the die, and putting it back for a moment while you show this part, and then go back to it and just take out the cloned part, just the 4-sided die. Leave that in there unseen, and it's this part that goes into the gimmick, and painted black inside, then nobody will know that that's in there. Then at the end of the trick you can show that the die has disappeared in the gimmick and reappeared in the top hat over here. So that's how it's done. But of course now we've got to make this part. There's the front and 2 sides, and of course the size will determine how big you've made your die. So it will be that size. The size of this will go in there. As you can see, it doesn't look as though anything is in there. So front, 2 sides. We don't need a back, because that's where we're going to put it in, at the back, from the back. And then we need a bottom like that, and then we need, it'd be easier if I turned it round, we need a bottom, and then we need a false bottom. So that is going to be the size then of the die there. And there's going to be a false area under here that no one can see. That is where we're going to put a weighted object that we can slide from side to side to make it sound as though this is sliding from side to side. Okay, so we've got that false bottom on the top, and that will make up our box. Okay, so if you've got all that, I'll stick all this lot together. Best with PVA glue, really, I think, rather than hot melt glue, because we don't want any hot melt glue on the inside of the gimmick, otherwise this is not going to fit in properly. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll stick it all together. We'll come back and see what to do next. So I just thought I'd update you before I completely finish it off. So we've got the basics put together, sides, the front and the bottoms, and there are 2 bottoms there, and I've filled this part in at the back there, and then I shall put this screw in there and then put a back piece on to encapsulate it, if you like. And then as I move that from side to side, it will sound as though the die is moving from side to side. So that goes in there, piece on the back 2 doors on the back, 2 doors on the front and the top, and that will pretty much be it, except that I want to add a little something. If I've got the die like that, and I show, or you show the audience to the side like that with the 2 doors hanging down or open like that, and put the die in like that, you would normally close the door up and then open it to show that it's empty, that it's disappeared. And what I thought I might try to do is just put this single piece of card in there like that, so that when this goes in, if this stood up, when this goes in, it would look as though that, when the top is on, it would look as though the whole of the die is in there and being shown. But of course, when I put the lid up, then I can put that down and show it. Well, it all will become apparent when I show you the whole trick from beginning to end. But I think that might be a nice little addition to the trick, just to show that there is a die in there. Okay, so I'll finish it off now, put the back piece on, the doors on and the top on, and then we'll think about finishing it off with some pretty paper. Okay, so I'll be back in 1 moment. So I finished the box off completely now. 2 doors on the front, 2 doors on the back, sprayed the whole thing black, and then just put some glittery paper on just to make it look a little nicer. For the doors, the hinge, I used black cloth tape, that's all, so it hinges on the bottom there like that. For the catches, I used these thin magnets that are the same thickness as the cardboard, so with a hole the size of the magnet in there, put the magnet in and then just put a thin piece of paper either side just to hold it, and then a corresponding magnet on the box itself, and that will close nicely like that without any unsightly catches anywhere to be seen. And also the false die front there's a magnet inside there as well, and I can use the same magnet to close the door and also for the die front like that. So yeah, and then for the handles, all I did was just hot melt glue the handles on the back, but for the front I put a nut and bolt through the handle, and the bolt or the screw is longer than it needs to be, so the nut is on there but the screw comes out a little more, so that when I close the door I can get rid of the false front like that. It will drop down, push it down like that. Okay, and then for the sound effect inside, for the die to move left and right, you remember the big bolt that I put in there, so just put a piece over the end just to cover that over so nobody can see that, only hear it. And I've taken away the center partition. I don't think it's necessary, not for this version of the trick. It makes for a better, if I put the die in there and open the front, you can show the audience all the way around the die like that. It's a much better reveal. And then of course it will disappear when that goes down and the backs are up. Okay, I think you get the idea. If you see the video at the beginning of the if you see the beginning of this video, you will see how I work the trick and how it all works. So I refer you to the beginning of the video rather than do it all again. Okay, so that's basically it really. I hope you've followed everything. It gets a little bit complicated with this one, a little more complicated than most. But I hope the person that asked me to make this is satisfied and might have a go at making the same version themselves. If not, then please subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. I've instigated the thanks button should you be wanting to buy me a coffee or anything like that. I won't be offended if you don't, shall we just say that. Okay, so again, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you next time, and until then, it's bye for now.